This conference will now be recorded.
ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ ಈಗ ಡಿಸ್ಪ್ಲೇ.
I hope you people are able to see my screen.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
First, I will create two folders. So now I'm going to open a new file, sir. Power Query, as I told, Power Query, it is used to import and export the data in Excel. So whenever I wanted to import the data to Excel or import the data from Excel to any other source, then I'll be using Power Query. So Power Query is also called as ETL tool. ETL means to extract and to edit the information, transform the data and load the data. So it is used to extract the information, make the transformation, and then loading it to the Excel or to any other sources. So here I have two details. So one is my one is my customer details, which is in Excel format only. So here, if you see, look at my data. So here I have customer ID, first name, last name, country, region, state, postal code, mail ID, product name, order ID, and order date, ship date, unit sold, sales price, and status. So I have this information, and here I have almost 700 data I have in each file. So like this, I have 3 years data with me. So now here what I have to do is I need to combine this data and create the sales report. So for that, what I will do is first I will open a blank Excel sheet. So here in a blank Excel sheet, if you see it in the data tab, you have this Power Query. So this get and transform data, queries and connections. So this is called as my Power Query. So Power Query means, as I told, where you will be using this tool in order to import and export the data. So from where and all I can extract the data and transform the data means, so here I can get the data from any file. It can be an Excel workbook, it can be text and CSV file, it can be XML format file, JSON file, or from a folder you wanted to create, or from SharePoint folder you wanted. So the database can be from SQL Server, Microsoft Access Database, Analysis Server, SQL Server Analysis, Oracle Database, IBM DB2, MySQL, PostgreSQL, Sybase, Teradata, SAP HANA. So from Azure means you can extract the data from Azure SQL database, Azure Synapse Analytics, Azure HD Insight, Azure Blob, Azure Data Table Storage. Online services also you can fetch the data from SharePoint, Microsoft Exchange, Dynamic 365, Salesforce Object, Salesforce Reports. So from other sources you can take it, like from a table also you can take the data, from a web page you can take the data, from SharePoint list, OData, Hadoop, Active Directory, Microsoft Exchange, ODBC, OLEDB, blank query, anything. And here you can combine and merge the data also. So here, if I am taking any individual files or something, I can take directly from a CSV file, web page, or table range, or any from other sources or existing connections. From here, anywhere I can take the data. So now, as I showed, I have two data. So one is in Excel format and one more is in CSV format. That is in the notepad I have the data. So two things we will work out and see. So now I'm coming back here. So I'll go to data, and from get data from file, I will fetch the folder. Why? Because my 3 years data is in one particular folder. So I wanted that entire folder to be extracted. So I'll click on from folder. Did anybody try this? As I had not shared the recording also.
Yes, ma'am.
Harshit sir tried.
Yes, ma'am. We tried.
Okay. Okay. Very good. So you're able to get it, sir? You're able to get it?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Then it is good thing. 1 second, sir. Customer details. So here is my customer details. So I have to take this entire folder. So I'll click on open. So here, once the Power Query is working, so it will show first, it will show the allocation from where you have fetched the data. So from C drive, I have went to users welcome. From the desktop, I have taken this folder, my customer details, and what are the file names the folder consists of, and what type of files it is. So by the extension, I'll get to know what type of files they are. So here I have many options: cancel to come out, transform data. So if I don't want to combine the data, I just wanted to make the necessary changes, then I will click on transform data. Now when I come to load, so I have two options, load and load to. First load is from where I'm taking the data. So from Excel I'm taking the data, so it will load and it will bring it back to Excel only. Load to means from Excel I wanted to take this data to Power BI or Tableau, then I'll be using this load to. So now here this option tells that without making any changes, without merging, this data will be taken directly to the place where I wanted. So this one load. Now next I have this combine. So combine and transform. So combine and transform in the sense I wanted to combine these three files and transform the data, means make the necessary changes. Next option is combine and load. Combine and load means all these three files will be merged and it will be directly loaded without making any transformation. Combine and load to, again it will combine the all the three files and load to the necessary platform wherever I wanted. But here first thing I wanted is combine and transform data, wherein I wanted to combine these three files and make the necessary changes also. So I will select combine and transform data. So as I combined the file, so Power Query will display one dialog box. Here it will tell sample file. When I click on this drop down, you can see all the files, whatever the files I had in my folder, individually it will show, and one file by name first file it is showing. That means this first file is the combined file, means all the three files are merged together. So I wanted to work on this one only, and here it is showing sales report. So the preview is ready. Once I click on this, Power Query will display the preview of this report. So this preview is okay. I will click on OK now. So next from Excel, I'll be going to Power Query Editor, where I'm going to make the necessary changes. So this is your Power Query Editor. You can see the screen looks very much similar to Excel. So in the leftmost corner, if you see here, I can see the Excel logo. So Power Query is working on what platform now? So I started from Excel. So the data is fetched from Excel. So that's why it is showing as Excel. If I am taking the data from Power BI, I am not at all using Excel. Directly from Power BI, if I am coming means here it will show the logo of Power BI. If I am working from Tableau, then here it will display the logo of Tableau. So here I am working on Excel, so it will show the Excel logo, and here my customer details, whatever my folder name was there, Power Query will set that folder name has the file name. So if I wanted to change, I can change it. Then in the menu bar, I have file, home, transform, add columns, view. So this also contains the same type of things whatever we have in the Excel. So here each and every tab will have its ribbon. So as per the requirement, home has the other details. So we'll see one by one what are those things. So then we have the queries. So here in the left hand side, if you see till now, starting from Excel, whatever the things I did, so the transformation, how it happened to come to Power Query, those steps will be displayed here in the queries. And then here I have the formula bar. So formula bar will tell me the DAX function. So DAX means it is a library where all the set of functions are stored, functions and formulas. In Excel, we call functions. So when I'm manipulating that functions, it is called as formula. In Power Query and in Power BI and in Tableau, it is called as DAX functions. So the way it is written, it is called as mashup language, M language. And here in Power Query, as I am taking the data from my Excel or any different sources, Power Query is going to write the DAX functions. So it is not that you might question that, ma'am, can't we write the DAX functions? Yeah, definitely you can write the DAX functions, but you should be well versed with it. Means you should be knowing how the formulas are written in the form of DAX. Why? Because in Power BI and Tableau and all, the same whatever the Excel functions you wrote, the same formulas only you are going to write there. So Power BI is not going to write on behalf of you, but here Power Query is going to build the DAX functions. So now in front of you only, I opened a blank workbook, I loaded the data, nothing I have done, but still you can see for each and every column, so Power Query has written the DAX functions relatively. So if I'm making any changes also, according to that changes, the Power Query is going to write the DAX function. So if you are writing the DAX function, you should understand that Power Query is going to evaluate it. Some mistake is happening, it is not going to accept that DAX function only, because it will be checking whatever you are writing. So unless you give the correct modulation of your formula, it will not accept. Then here on the leftmost corner, I have my query settings. Query settings means from here you can change the file name. So from my customer details, I'm going to rename it to sales report. Then here I have applied steps. So in Power Query, you don't have the option undo. That means Control Z. What we do for undo, that step we cannot use. So whatever the thing I am making, the actions that I am performing will be displayed here in the form of applied steps. If any of the step you wanted to undo it, you have to just simply come here and click on this into. It will take you one step back. And then coming to the work area, you can see it is also in the form of tabulations only, rows and columns. But here Power Query is going to identify each and every column. Means what is the data that the particular column consists of. Sir, am I audible? The screen is visible?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So here, if you look at the first column, so Power Query is identifying this particular column has text. When I'm coming to the next column, it is identifying the data has numbers. So likewise, for each and every column, Power Query is going to identify what type of data that particular column consists of. So I will come here, I'll move a little bit further. So here you can see when I'm entering any date, so here it is identifying the data as calendar type. So if I have any details related to my country, state, pin code, location, or anything as such, so then it will identify it as a globe. So globe symbol will appear, where that will show that it is identifying that particular data has a geographical location. So like that, Power Query is going to identify individual columns. So what type of data it is. So this is about your screen interface. Any doubts? Am I going fast? Are you people able to follow? Ganapati sir, am I going fast?
No, I think okay.
Okay, okay, sir. Lokesh sir,
Yes, ma'am. Fine.
yeah, you are able to follow it, right? What about the
Yes,
girls?
yes.
Nobody is answering. Even in online also, no answers, no response. Girls,
Yes,
are you
ma'am,
able
we
to
are
follow?
able
Am
to
I
follow.
fast?
Yeah, ma'am, yeah. You are following
People
this.
are able to follow, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So any doubts in this interface?
No, ma'am.
Okay, so now let's see. So now here you can see in the bottom. So once after merging the data, Power Query is identifying has 999 plus rows are there. So if in each file, if I have 700 rows of data, means in 3 files it should exceed more than 2000. But here it is showing 999. Why? Because till now I have not done any transformation. Once I apply the
Ma'am, I think the
transformation,
screen is not moving.
sir.
Screen is not moving. It's got stuck.
Able to see
I think.
cursor, sir?
No cursor, no
It got
movement.
stuck.
Yeah.
Okay.
No.
Now it came.
Sir, are you able to see the screen now?
No. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, 1 minute. It's coming now. 1 minute.
ಕಾಣಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದೆಯಾ sir?
Yes.
Yeah, screen ಬಂತೀಗ. But madam, can you please move the cursor? Yeah.
ನಾನು ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್ ಕಾಲಮ್ ಸೆಲೆಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೀನಿ ಸರ್. ಸೆಲೆಕ್ಷನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಿರೋದು ಗೊತ್ತಾಗ್ತಿದೆಯಲ್ಲ?
Yes. Yeah, it's moving now. Yes.
Okay. So now you can see it is showing has 999 rows. So each and every file was having 700 rows of data. So if I'm combining all the three also, it's more than 2000. But here it is showing has only 999. Why? Because I need to still do the transformation. Once I transform the data, Power Query will be able to identify how many number of total rows are there. So now let's see
Hello, madam. Voice.
Echo is coming.
first column what I have is.
Some
Sir,
echo is coming.
Some background noise.
Background
you are
noise.
not able to hear my voice, sir?
Unmute. Some background noise is coming.
No, sir. I am sitting in the room. There is nobody here.
Others, mute. Others, our team Tejas, Krishna, can you please move? Tejas, Krishna, Tejas, Krishna, please mute.
Yes, unable to mute, sir.
No, we can hear you. Now it's okay.
So now, is it clear, sir?
Yes.
Any disturbance?
No, please continue.
You are able
Yeah,
to
please
see the
continue.
screen also, right?
Yes.
Okay, sir. So are you able to see?
ನೀವು ಅದಾಗೆ ಬಿಡಿ ಗಡಿ ಗಡಿ We lost her voice.
Sir, ಕೇಳಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದೆಯಾ?
ಇವಾಗ ಕೇಳಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದೆ.
Okay, sir. So you are able to see the screen also, right? Screen ಕಾಣಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದೆಯಲ್ಲ ನಿಮಗೆ? Okay. So now I have to make the transformation. So transformation one by one, column wise agi nanu transform ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. The first thing you can see source name. That means the file name is getting displayed. Wherein once I have combined, I don't need the file names. So just select like this and I'll get selected with my particular column. So I need to select the source name, right click, and here when I right click, you can see the same options are available what I have in the ribbon. So first thing is I'll remove this first column. So first column is removed. Now customer ID. So customer ID, you can see there is, it is toggled. So I wanted to sort it. I'll click on this drop down and sort ascending. So once I sort ascending, you can see there is n number of null values. That means and I'll uncheck this null. Uncheck ಮಾಡ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು I'll click on OK. So my null values are removed and my data is also sorted from ascending to descending order. Now next column you can see first name and last name, two names are there. So I wanted one name, so that is my customer name. So first name I'll select, I'll press control and select the last name. So for that I'll right click, I'll go to merge columns. So merge column and sir,
No.
okay, so here merge column. Yes, sir. So merge column. So here Power Query is asking what is the separator. It means from first name to last name, what is the separator that will be there? So it is space. I'm going to select space and click on OK. So rename this particular column has merged. I'll double click and I will change the name to customer name. And next third column I'll come here, I'll just select it. Now here I have the information of country and region both in one single column, wherein I wanted country in a different column, region in a different column. By what is the delimiter? So delimiter is nothing but from one cell to another cell. The values are separated by what? Either I am using the space, either I am using the comma, hyphen, slash, or tabs. Tab is in your keyboard, you have this tab key above your caps lock. So four space make one tab. So am I using that tab to give the space? How it is, it should be identified. That is called as delimiters. So here I need to split the column. By which delimiter? Means what is the delimiter that is used to split the column. So here you can see the delimiter is in between India and East. I have space, hyphen, space. So that is my delimiter which is separating the values. So here it is asking, Power Query is asking to enter the delimiter here. So when I click on this drop down, I have different types of delimiters, but what I require that is not there. So I will click on custom and here I will mention the delimiter, the separator. So it is space hyphen. I will click on OK. So now you can see my country and region are separated into two different columns. Now I wanted to rename this. I'll rename it to country, and this second column, next column, I'll rename it to region. Then coming to the state. So state, you can see everything is fine, but the names are appearing in small letter. That means it is not in proper case. So I need to capitalize the first letter. So I'll right click and I'll click on transform and capitalize each word. So capitalize each word. Power Query is writing the DAX related to it. Now next column I'm coming to postal code. So here you can see the data is being identified as text. So but here it has text means here you can see in between there are space. So space will be considered as text. That's why it is identifying this particular data as text. So first I need to remove the space. So I'll take my cursor to postal code, right click, and I'll click on replace values. So replace values, value to find, so space, and I don't want to replace it with anything, just find identifying it has text. So I have to just go to transform data and detect data type. So it is identifying this has numbers. Now this is okay. Email ID is also fine. Then I have my product name, that is also fine. I have ordered ID, order date, ship date. Yeah, everything is fine. Here I wanted to add one more column. So I have received the order and I have done the shipment. Like once after receiving the order, how many days I have taken in order to ship that item. So that one I wanted to know. That is ship to date, or I can tell days to ship. How many days I have taken to ship. So then I need to subtract the ship date with order date. So I'll select the ship date first. I'll press control and then I'll select order date. Now I will come to add column wherein I wanted to create a new column. So I'll click on add column. And here I have subtract days. I have to go to add column. Under that I have the date option. Under that I have subtract days. So I'll select this subtract days. So here in the last column, you can see Power Query has evaluated and created one new column. So I have to drop it next to ship date. I'll just click without releasing my click. I'm dragging it and placing it next to ship date. And I'm going to rename it as days to ship. Then I have units sold and sale price. I wanted to know the total sales. So I need to multiply these two columns. I'll select the unit sold. I'll press Control and select sale price. Now I have selected this. In the add column only, I have the option standard and I wanted to apply the multiplication over here. I'll select multiply. So one more new column has been created by name multiplication. Now I need to next to sale price. I'll just click this, drag and drop it here. So multiplication. Now I'll rename it to total sales. Total sales. And now you can see everything is done. So whatever the steps till now I have done, everything has been recorded. So here you can see I have renamed the column number 4. So there are 4 columns which I have renamed. So now here I wanted to take one step back. That means this table name whatever I have created, I wanted to do undo. So I'll just come here, take my cursor near this into and click on this. So like this, I can undo any step. I'll just double click and I'll make the changes. So total sales. Now, as per my requirement, I have done everything. So I have combined the data. I have merged it. I have transformed the data. Everything is done. Now, if I wanted to do anything else, you can try it out in this only if you wanted to do some changes. Now for my requirement, it is done. So now I have to take it back to Excel. So for that, I need to go to home and here in the first option, I have close and load. I'll click on this drop down and select close and load. Close and load means from wherever I bought this data to the same place, it has to go back. Close and load to, so close this and load this to Power BI Tableau where furthermore I can modify it to visualization. So here I am going to select only close and load. From where I came, I wanted to go back to the same place. Close and load. You can see it came back to the empty blank workbook where I started my journey of Power Query. So here you can see the modified data has appeared. Okay, like this I'm going to transform my data. Now another one doubt is, so now if I'm making any changes in my source data, like the actual data, so that changes will be implemented in the reports, I wanted to know. So this is called as dynamic. If Excel is able to make the changes, then it is dynamic. If it is unable to do that changes, means it is not dynamic. So what I'll do is I'll go to my actual data. So here I'll go to desktop, customer details, and I will open this 2020 data. So here in this one, you can see in my actual data. So here I have this Andrea, this name is there, and I wanted to change this postal code in the actual data. So let's see whether that changes will be implemented over here. So here the pin postal code it is showing has 123456. I'll go to the actual data here. So this is 2020 data and here I have this Andrea name. So here I'm going to change it to 987456. I'll press enter. I'll press Ctrl S to save this data. I have made the changes. I'll close this. Now I am into my new worksheet where I have done my Power Query and I have brought my data to Excel. So now here still it is showing as 123456 wherein I had given 987456 I had given. Now I'll go to this table design and here in this external table data I have this refresh option. I'll click on this drop down and I'll just click on refresh. Before I click refresh, my data is 2100 data now. So previously when I was in Power Query, you could see that it was showing 999 plus data. So it was not able to analyze how much actual data I had. Now once I came back, it is identifying that all the three merged data, the overall it is 2100 data I have. Now I have made these changes. I'll click on refresh. So now you can see the changes are applied. So one more thing what I can do is I'll go to this actual data, and here I got to know that 1 year data I totally forgot only to add. It was not 3 years data, but it was actually 4 years data which I was supposed to merge. So I'm just going to copy the same data, paste it here and rename. So I'm going to rename it. Now 1 year more, 1 year extra data I have. That means 2100 data. Now it should be 2800 data. So by making the necessary changes also, I'll come to my data over here. Nothing, I'm not going to go to Power Query editor in order to make any changes. I'll just come to this table design, go to refresh. So here it is 2100. I'll just click on refresh. So now you can see it has added that data also without going to Power Query editor. So that means this is completely dynamic. If you make any changes, the changes will be implemented in your source data. So from here also it will be applied. To the destination also it will be applied with the changes. So any doubts in this?
No, madam.
Sir,
No, madam.
any
No,
doubts?
ma'am.
Okay, what about girls? Girls, no answer. That means did not understood. ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗಿಲ್ಲ. You people understood or having any doubt?
No doubts, ma'am.
Okay, everything is clear. Very
Yes.
good. So now one thing we saw is from Excel only, we worked on Excel and we brought back to Excel only. If my file form is different, like it can be any kind, as I told, it can be XML, JSON, PDF or whatever it is. So everything I told. Now, if I am taking the data from a CSV file, that is comma separated values from a notepad, I wanted to take my data to Power Query. So let's see how we can do it. So I'm not going to save this data. So here, if I look at my data, it is completely text document. So if I open my data, it is something like this, completely jumbled. So there is no proper order, nothing it is there. I have the information, but I am not able to identify what are the informations that have been fed. And here they have used tab. You can see from 1 to 1, there is 4 spaces. That is tab key they have used as the delimiter, the separator. So now let's work on this. So I'm going to open a new Excel file. Same way I'm going to go to data, get data from file. So this time also I wanted to take the entire folder. So I'll go to file and from folder. So desktop, I have my folder here, my student details. So I'll select the folder and I'll click on OK. Open. So now as it does the same procedure, it will follow, it will show the allocation from where I have fetched the data from. And here it will show the file names and the extension. By extension, I'll get to know what type of file it is. It's a text file. So here also I have the same option, transform data, load the data or combine the data. I don't need to transform the data, but I need to combine and then transform. Combine and transform. So here you can see the combined files. So as I told, here it will show the list of other files along with one combined file. So I'll take this first file, and here you can see the delimiter. So here they have used tab. So from one data to another data, they have used space. So space means that tabs. So one tab means 4 space, as I have told. So it is showing the preview, and I'll click on OK. So again, Excel is going to bring me to Power Query Editor. So my data is combined. Here it is telling 778 rows are there. So actually I don't know how many rows are there. Why? Because it is completely jumbled. So now here you can see it is not identifying any column name or anything. So it is just giving column 1, 2, 3, 4 like that. Now I need to make the necessary changes. First thing, I don't want this source name. I'll right click and I will remove this source name. Then here I have the student ID number. So first let me check whether there is any null value. I'll click on sort ascending. So ascending, it has sorted and there is no null values if you see. Fine. So here I will rename it to student ID number. And now I wanted to add a prefix. Usually in the schools, colleges, or the institute like us, we have this prefix, suffix, anything you wanted to add, I'm going to add it. So for that, I need to go to transform, and here I have the format. Okay, so in order to add the prefix, I'm going to go to transform. Under that I have the format option. I'll go to format, and here you have the option to add the prefix and suffix. So here I wanted to add the prefix. I'll click on prefix. Here what is that text that you wanted to add as a prefix? So here I will give NICT space hyphen space. You can give whatever name you wanted. So I give an NICT space hyphen space, and I'll click on OK. So now you can see the data is been identified as text and my NICT has been added as prefix. Now I'll come to the second column. So second column, it has the information of my first name, last name and age. All the three things also it is in one column. Now I need to separate this in bifurcate. I wanted to separate it. So I will right click, I'll go to split columns. So first thing, I need to separate my first name and last name. So right click, split columns by delimiter. So here the delimiter is split last name. Okay. So first name and last name is separated. Now first I'll correct my first name. I'll rename it to first name. So it is not in proper case. The first letter is in small. So I will transform it, transform, capitalize each word. So it is capitalized. Now the third column, I wanted to separate the last name and the age. So right two digits. So last name, it is a text and I have the age. So text is a non-digit, number, it's a digit. So I am taking by non-digit to digit. So here you can see my last name and my age is separated. Now I will transform this data, transform, capitalize each word. So it is capitalized, and here I'll give it as last name. Next, this is my age. So here I need to be identifying the data type. So here it is identifying it as a text. So I'll come to transform, detect data type. So here this is my age. Okay, then so this next column is my contact details. So data is fine, but I need to rename it. I'll give it as contact detail. Then this one, the next column is my mail ID. I'm going to just rename it. Then I have my course name. So I need to just rename the things, course name. Then the next column, it is identifying it has a date, but here it is showing column 6. So wherein it should be date of joining or joining date. Next, I have the fees details. So I'll rename it to fees detail. But here it is identifying this particular column has text. Why? Because I have rs dot space, that is rupees. So wherein if I wanted to apply any calculation or anything also, I cannot apply it for calculation. Why? Because there is text. So I need to replace this values. I need to remove this rupees. So I'll right click. I will go to replace values. So here it is rs dot space. Replace it with nothing. I'll just click on OK. So rupees is removed, but still it is identifying it as a text. I'll go to detect data type. So now it has identifying the data. So now whatever the changes I wanted, the changes are done. So after doing format, for that I'll come to home. If you wanted to make some changes, yes sir.
No, no, no problem. There is
Okay,
a
okay, sir.
small
Okay,
network issue. Yeah, we can.
okay, sir. You are able to see the screen and I'm audible, right,
Yes,
sir?
yes.
I I don't want any further changes or anything. So my data is being transformed. Now I wanted to close and load. So I'll come to home, click on close and load. So I came back from where I started my journey. Now you can see whichever it was there in the text format, the data is neatly arranged in the table format. So you can take it to Excel or you wanted to take it to Power BI Tableau for further visualization. You are going to take it directly over there also. So whatever the file format you are going to take, Power Query is the platform which is going to merge and transform the data. In Power BI and Tableau, directly you don't have the option to combine the data to make the necessary changes. If you click on transform data in Power BI, it will get you to Power Query where you are going to make the changes and go back to Power BI. In Tableau you can get the data from anywhere, but before you take the data to Tableau, you need to transform the data in Power Query and then take it to Tableau. So both the visualization tools doesn't have the transforming option. The transforming work will be done from Power Query only. Okay. So any type of data format, let it be, it has to be transformed from here only. So now my thing is done. So here what I'm going to do is I got to know that I have 778 rows now altogether. Now I left out one file over there. So let's see if it is going to add that data over here. So I'll come to desktop, student details. I have 3-year data. I will add one more year data in this. So one more here data I have added in this folder. Now I'll come to this source. I'll just go to table design. Here I have 778 rows. That means 3 files when I have combined, I have altogether this much. Now I'll go to table design and I will go to refresh and I'll click on refresh. So I need not have to go to Power Query editor. Whatever the changes it is done over here. So in the source data, if you are adding any individual column, now I'm not talking about Power Query editor, in the source data in the file, if you are adding any one particular column, is the column should be added in all the 3 files. If 2 files doesn't have that column and 1 file is having that column, is Power Query will not adjust it. So if you are adding the same column in all the 3 files also, then the transformation will be loaded. Clear about this Power Query?
Yeah.
Madam, what about if one Excel having 4 5 sheets?
Hmm.
That time the format should be same, or how it is, or it will load
4
here.
5 sheets means, that means in one file
One,
if you are having 4 5
yes,
sheets.
yes,
No,
yes.
no, sir. That also you have to see to it that 3 files also should be having that 4 sheets only. three files also should be having 4 sheets. If one first file is having 3 sheet and the second file is having 2 sheet and you are having the third file is having 1 sheet means, so again it will not be able to identify means I need to explain it in such a way that it should be able to create the relationships. So Power Query here, it is going to build the relationship, understand what it is, and then it is going to make the changes. So if I am having in one date in one this one things I have, so as I told, so in two files I don't have one extra column, and in the third file I'm adding one more extra column means that extra column will not be considered. So if in the source data, if you are adding that column in all the three files and all the three files are having which you have left out in the Power Query editor, then it will add it.
Okay.
So if there is any this one also, if there is no common this one, so Power Query won't be able to do it. So we need to arrange the data in such a way that it should be in a position to accept that data, analyze it, create the relationship, and then build the Power Query edit.
Okay, madam.
Okay, any other doubts? So I think today properly the recording has happened because this Power Query, it is a little bit confusion part. So that's why last week, because of my network issues, the recording was not at all done. So that's why I thought that, okay, today I will do both the things, concepts and complete it. So sir, you told that 26th we will have the revision class.
That we will confirm, madam. Now, after this, what else? One more class is there, or it's over?
No, sir. As I have told, I don't
Uh,
remember any of the concepts I have left out or anything as such. Harshit, sir, you remember that? Did I say any of the concept and I have left out?
Madam, that connection, that relationship, those things, whether it should
Which one, sir?
doing that Power Query, the relationship
Ah,
connection between the two sheets, those things, whether you are
that
doing
one it is in Power BI.
Power BI.
Power Query, this much only we teach. In Power BI, we show the data modeling, like how the relationship will be built. That one it is taught there. So in this
Okay.
one, advanced Excel. So here I am showing. I hope you people are able to see the screen. So just let me
yeah,
know
yeah,
if we have left out with any of the concepts. So custom data
yeah,
validation was done.
Yes.
yeah,
So then filters.
Yeah.
yes.
Okay, then pivot assignment. Did you people try? I had shared that pivot assignment. So there are
Uh,
multiple sheets where we have done with different types of pivot things. What and all you can do in pivot.
yeah, madam.
So nobody tried it.
We will send.
No, it is not the matter of sending, because if you have, because that is also one concept, but in that I give the students like an assignment. Why? Because whatever the instructions I have given and the output how it should appear, if they are able to analyze it and get that output means they'll be easily able to work on their actual data on the real time. So that's why I had given it. Okay, you people can try it out before we have a revision class. I wanted everybody to try out. In that, if you are having any doubts, you can get it clarified. Then we
Okay.
had done with sales dashboard.
Yes.
Yeah,
Sales dashboard, TVM,
Yeah.
time value money financial functions.
No.
Okay,
No.
that means this one concept was left out, and so we look up other methods.
Yes.
We have completed X lookup. We have completed.
yeah,
Yes.
Okay, so then we have covered almost everything, sir. Only this TVM we have left out. That is the financial
almost
function, sir.
correct. And here in this, what NICT has sent this one,
One second, sir. There is a lot of disturbance. I'm not able to
Krishna
hear
sir,
the voice. Okay, sir,
Krishna sir.
Krishna, sir, I'm going to mute you. Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
this one in Excel dashboard we have done chart
Yes, sir.
slicers. Yes. After that VBA macro. create and
Uh,
record macros, edit macros.
VBA macros, macro we will be showing you, sir. VBA, we have the different concept. In macro only, I'll show you how the macro will be written. Like once I
Yeah.
create the macro, I'll show how
Mhm.
it will be written in VBA. So
No
here we are
problem.
not going to explain it directly. So
Yeah.
just I'll show you how to create the macro, and in that macro, how the VBA will be written. So
Okay.
now the left out concept.
I am just reading out the message from this one, your institute. VBA macro, create and record macros, edit macros, VB editor, assign macros, variable variable, data types, message
No,
bus,
sir.
etc.
So that one VBA editing, that one we show. So like I will show you how to record the normal macro, and that macro
Okay.
when we edit, what is the macro? This one VBA will be
No
written,
problem.
and
Yeah. Yeah, yeah,
there
that's okay.
I'll show you the edit.
Yeah,
So
correct.
this much
After
will be
that,
covered in VBA. Yeah.
sure. After that, buttons groups in VBA also there.
No, sir. That concept, it is an individual concept of VBA. That is a different course
No.
only.
But here in this course that is mentioned. Now I just
Okay.
read out one more, two lines are there, then
Yes, sir.
we leave it
Yes,
to
sir.
you.
Sure,
Then
sure, sir.
if I will select statements,
Hmm.
looping,
Hmm.
mail functions,
Hmm.
procedures and functions in VBA. This much it is they are
No,
given
sir.
this.
Actually, in our this one, the
Yeah.
I think you have taken the pick. So there
Mhm.
we here in advanced Excel we will show how to record the macro. When I record the macro, how the VBA code will be written, and then there if I make any changes, how that changes will be implemented in the Excel. So till here we will show.
Okay.
So
Okay,
that
madam.
looping and if else condition, that and all, it will come in VBA actual course. So that is a
Mhm.
different course. So in
Okay.
advanced Excel, we cover this much. So if
Right.
anything is left out, you can speak to SK sir regarding it, like VBA or any concept if you wanted or anything. So here,
No
whatever
problem.
it has been covered, usually how we cover, that much we'll cover. So now left out is TVM, that is financial functions is left out, and that
Yeah.
macro, recording the macro and how to edit the macro. So this much is
Okay.
left out. So next class probably like Tuesday we will do it, and then
Yeah.
we will have the revision class as you told whenever you wanted. Like beforehand,
It
you
will be
just
maybe on
inform.
30th. If Tuesday, yeah, if coming Tuesday is our class, then
Sir,
uh,
12th. Today is July
no, no,
18th. Today is
July
July 18th. So
August. It's in August. Correct. Yeah, correct. Yeah. Correct. Yeah. August today is Thursday 18th. So
yes, sir.
Tuesday 23rd we will be doing last class.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Then we will do the revision on this one 30th Tuesday. August
30th.
30th Tuesday. Second
Yeah.
half we will come there. Second half.
3:30. 3 o'clock.
Yeah,
We'll take it, sir. We'll
yeah,
fix it as 3 to 5. So here and there
3:30
also
to
3:30 to 5.
Krishna. Okay. Krishna, any comment? Krishna is the 30th. Okay. Okay, no problem. Because we have
So I
no.
think Krishna sir is muted. I'll just unmute him.
No, no problem. As of now, you keep it 30th. If there is anything else, we will decide on
Okay.
Tuesday.
30th, what timings you wanted it, sir? Because I need to inform to Shivkumar sir. So
Yeah.
beforehand, if
What
I
time you want
inform,
to? What time you want to be relieved? What time till what time you are available? 30th
sir, I'll be there till 6 o'clock. As I told, I'll be leaving at 6 exactly. So
till
till 6,
next week.
yes, sir.
That week also. This will your physiotherapy is there that week also.
Yes,
You
yes, sir.
wanted
1 month
from
they have to. 1 month they
oh,
have told. Till next month it will be there. So
till
probably
August
till
10.
not till August end, sir. Till 5th or 10th probably.
Oh, okay. Then from you, it will require 2 to 3 hours. No, 3 hours, 2 hours.
Which one, sir? No, sir. It depends on your requirement. So if you
Or
are
no
just
revision
practicing every, yes, sir, revision only. It is up to your requirement. So if you have practiced everything and no doubts means within 1 hour we can finish. So if you wanted to try it out, I will inform SK sir that it will be from 3:30 to 5:30. 2 hours I'll tell him.
Yeah. No, 3:30 to 6 you can tell, or 4 to 6.
4 to 6.
Yeah.
Okay, sir. Let me check out, because he told that if I'm taking the revision class, he told me to inform in prior only. So 3:30
Yeah.
to 6, I will tell him.
Yeah. 3:30 to 6. 30th
Yes, sir.
July. Yeah.
Yes, sir. 30th. So you also
Yeah.
speak once. You can have a word with
Yes.
him,
Yes.
telling that
I will talk to him.
yes, sir. You can speak to him. So
Yeah.
this one, coming Tuesday, we are going to wind up the session with macro and TVM, that is time value money. We will finish it.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay,
Done.
sir. Now
Thank
I'll
you.
share the recording. I think I have shared the notes, only the recording part I was supposed to share. So I'll share that
Yeah.
recording so that you people can follow it. And the pivot assignment, whatever I have shared, I wanted everybody to try it out, and you can get it clarified on the revision class day. So I think it will be
Sure.
sufficient time.
Yeah.
2 weeks of time will be there, so they everybody can practice, I believe. So from the beginning, whatever we have covered, everything, you just try it out. So revision class, whatever the doubts you have, you can get it clarified.
Okay. Yeah.
And about the revision class, you can have the word, sir. I will also inform. So you
I
also,
will
once you
talk to
can.
him. I will talk to Shiv Kumar or Usha today tomorrow. I will
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
talk to
Sure.
them. Yeah.
Yes, sir. So
Because I
I'll
also need
wind
to
up.
talk to them about next batch. Also, I have to talk to them.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay, sir. You
And
can
next
have a
batch
word
we
with
are
them.
trying. Yeah. Sure.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Next batch we want to try from. We want to start from maybe August 10th or 7th, like that.
Okay, okay, sir. Yes, sir. Sure, sure. You can have the
By,
word with
by
them,
that
sir.
time, your physiotherapy will be over. So
Yes,
online, it
yes,
is
sir.
going to be online class, and from 6:30 to 8 or 6 to 7:30 kind of setting.
Oh, yes, sir.
You
Sure,
are okay,
sure,
no?
sir. Yes, yes,
Oh,
sir. I'll be fine by then. So you can take up
oh,
with the class. But whatever it is, it has to be assigned from Shivkumar sir only. You
yeah,
can
correct.
speak to
I know.
him regarding. Okay, sir. I'll wind up
Okay,
the session for today. I'll
sure.
share the
Thank you.
recording in few while.
Yeah, please.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Thank you, everyone. Have a good day.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good
Yes,
day.
sir.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yes, sir.
Bye,
I'll
ma'am.
wind
Bye.
up the session. Bye. Bye, ma'am.